Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the SirLinksalot podcast. I'm your host, Artemis, and today's guest is a real treat for those of you who are tuning into the podcast, who have your sights set on leveraging AI and content creation to grow your expertise even more. So today, I actually have the pleasure of introducing you guys to Austin Armstrong, who is a successful digital marketer and entrepreneur who has created multiple seven-figure businesses, including Syllaby, an AI-powered platform that helps creators channel their creativity through producing short-form content with ease. Austin is also an international speaker, the host of the Business Talk podcast, the co-founder of the AI Marketing World Conference, and the brains behind thousands of viral videos that have earned billions of views across social media. So getting to chat with him today is actually super cool because a good amount of the content that's been on my feed recently on both TikTok and YouTube are actually faceless videos that could have very well been made using a platform like Syllaby. So I'm excited to learn more about him and the strategies that helped him grow his business using the power of short-form video and AI. So Austin, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to chat and welcome to the podcast.
Artemis, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity and I'm excited to chat and nerd out about all things AI, social media, SEO.
All right, the feeling is definitely mutual. So I'm actually going to kind of hit the ground running with one of the things that I'm the most curious about. Throughout your entire career spanning, 2 decades at this point, you've seen a lot of changes in the social media landscape and the marketing world in general. So I wanted to know, what do you have to say to people who have a lot of pushback and skepticism towards incorporating AI tools in their workflow as the newest development?
Yeah, it's a hot button topic right now, right?
For sure.
It's inevitable is my blunt answer, but we've seen this over and over again throughout history. Whenever there's a new technological advancement, there's resistance to it. I think it's just in our human nature to resist change. I mean, scribes hated the printing press because it threatened their job. Photographers hated Photoshop. There's probably a horse salesman out there that really hated Ford for releasing the Model T, right? And traditional businesses and advertising businesses hated the internet when Google AdWords came out and Facebook ads came out. So everybody is always resistant to change because it's comfortable to stay where you're at. It's difficult to learn new technology and to learn new software, but you need to embrace it because it will become our new norm. AI has been the biggest shift in technology possibly ever, not just since the internet, but since the printing press. Like, it is such a technological advancement that is helping so many people with practical, immediate use cases. And so you can be resistant to it, but you really need to just experiment and explore. You don't have to go full AI and replace everything that you're doing and go that far extreme. But I suggest taking a look at your daily and weekly schedule. I love doing like a time inventory. There's a great book on this, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. And take note of every task that you're doing throughout your day, from the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep, and look at what are the most tedious tasks for you that take up the most amount of time, that bring you the least amount of enjoyment, that are the most expensive, maybe overhead costs, or maybe whatever it is. Find some AI solutions for those particular things, and it's going to bring you so much more time and freedom and allow you to be so much more productive. And so I think there's a lot of misconceptions about how AI is being used and how AI can help you. It's not just like, authors writing full AI books, full AI video replacement on social media, dead internet theory, artistry is dead. No, that's like an extreme take. There's a room and a balance that everybody can adopt this technology. I don't care what industry that you're in, but it's just straight up ignorant to have a no AI approach.
Right. And I've noticed that dialogue has been getting increasingly more and more popular nowadays, especially with all of the major AI shifts, which have actually been a long time in the making. But people are just now starting to kind of have that very doom and gloom industry dialogue around AI, like you said, kind of like dead internet theory, AI is destroying our lives, things like that. Have you ever seen any kind of dialogue that's similar to this around any other industry updates, or is this pretty unique to AI, seeing it as, like you said, one of the biggest things to happen in the history of technological advancements?
It's definitely a big one. I mean, it's like I was just saying, it's kind of a historical thing. Like every time there's a new change, there's always pushback against it. Um, I mean, what immediately comes to mind is like software tools like Photoshop coming out, and there was definitely an outcry from photographers and um, digital artists. Well, I guess pre-digital artists, but yeah, that's the only one that comes to mind. Like, it is a huge outrage
Right.
right now. I kind of get it because of how the models and data is trained in the first place. But the other thing too is we are taught as humans based on other examples. How artists are taught are based on previous artists' style. It's just the same concept. So
Right. I totally get what you mean. And I'm also kind of niched more into social media in addition to SEO. So I remember back in the days where, MySpace Day, Photoshop was becoming like a bigger thing that people didn't know, like, wait a minute, you can do this. There was
yeah.
actually quite a few people who were blasting creators for actually even using the Photoshop. And they were like, this image, yeah, this is really cool, but you're like lying to people, things like that. Nowadays, I don't think that I see any of that because, like you said, people have kind of gotten more used to it, just like things like, again, being more on the social side too. Things like TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all the platforms that are adopting short form video more are also evolving into something that people just didn't expect. So instead of being the singy dancy apps, they're now also kind of everything else apps. So with
Yeah.
platforms like TikTok becoming sometimes even like search engines in their own right, what do you really think about, short form video content and the role that that's going to play when it comes to search or SEO strategies in the future?
Yeah, it's been a big part of my SEO strategy and clients that I've worked with before Syllaby. I had a whole SEO and social media marketing agency. And how I've approached these platforms like TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook is that these platforms are search engines. People just look for information a little bit differently than a traditional Google search. And YouTube is the second most popular search engine in the world. uh, I was just looking at one of my channels on YouTube earlier today, and a lot of my views on my shorts are coming from search. I mean, so if you're already creating blog content around long tail keywords, or that's a part of your long form video strategy on YouTube, shorts will rank for all of those topics. You should be cranking out short form videos answering every single question that your customer is searching for. Um, it just creates evergreen content across the board. Uh, there's been a lot of disruption in SEO over the years, but I hate the like SEO is dead. No, it just changes. I mean, you're just optimizing for different areas that people are searching for. People have been searching on YouTube for years and years and years, over a decade at this point. TikTok has come out and literally said that they are a search engine, and they have a lot of areas within TikTok in particular to really back that up. Like, people also search for, they show you trending topics. Um, uh, and now it's even leaning towards AI as well. AI search results, AEO. Um, AI engine optimization. So getting your content to rank in LLMs like ChatGPT or Google Gemini responses or Claude, or all of these platforms. So video and short form video 100% should be a part of your strategy, and they're just easier to crank out. I mean, like, if you just do like a SEO keyword research tool, and type in your industry, or maybe you've already done this research. If you're listening to this podcast, you're pretty familiar with SEO, right? All of those blog articles, for your website or for your customers, start creating short form videos with that. You can answer them with a real person. You can use AI avatars. You can use faceless videos, but it's just a great way to stay top of mind for what your customers are searching for.
That makes complete sense. I think that a lot of businesses can really benefit from kind of diversifying their search landscape in that way. I'm curious to know more about how that kind of relates to Syllabi and the work that you guys do over there. So I was wondering, um, with the short form video that is created with Syllabi, what are normally the industries that you see people work in? Is it normally just your everyday John, Dick, and Harry who's deciding to take these short form videos, or do businesses actually kind of leverage that as a part of their strategy as well?
Oh yeah, we have tons of different industries. I mean, we've been really heavily adopted by real estate, for instance, real estate
Really?
agents, a lot of medical doctors, lawyers, all kinds of service-based businesses, lots of just content creators as well. But in the real estate space, e-commerce products and customers as well, um, we've built some features specifically for real estate because we've had so much adoption there. So what Syllabi does is it's kind of the whole picture. It comes from my experience working in agencies. So step one is the idea discovery area. And so it acts like a keyword research tool. So you can type in your product or service or your niche or anything like that. And it'll show you the questions and long tail keywords that people are searching for with data to back it up, cost per click, trend line if it's trending up or it's trending down. And you can click and create videos on all of those topics. So if you're a real estate agent, for instance, you can type in, something like "buy house Los Angeles," and it'll show you all of the questions that people are searching for around that, or maybe VA loan or FHA loan, and it'll show you topics like who's eligible for a VA loan, what are the differences between a VA loan and an FHA loan, how many times can you get a VA loan, so you can make educated decisions on the best evergreen content to generate leads for your business. Now, another thing in particular, kind of outside of the SEO thing, is we released a URL to video tool with image scraping. So for instance, for the real estate space, again, you can just paste in the URL of a Zillow or Redfin listing of one of your house listings, and it'll grab all of the images of that house. It'll write a script for it, and it'll basically create a house tour video for you in less than a minute. And the same is
Wow.
the case for e-commerce products as well. You can paste in a Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Shopify link, and it'll grab all of those images for you, create a script for it. Now you have a video that promotes your product. So there's a lot of
Gotcha.
different industries that are using Syllabi, and it's been a fantastic experience to see all of the crazy things that people are creating.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. It sounds like Syllabi is really doing its job in lowering that kind of barrier to entry when it comes to people actually chugging out content, which is an important part of like marketing in general, not just SEO, but just getting that content out there. And when you can do that more easily, then obviously you're going to have more successful strategy in general. So this is obviously something that you've learned through your own personal experience. And I know that like a lot of people who are listening are pretty early on in their marketing career actually, and they might be struggling to kind of know the path that they want to take in their journey from like where they're currently at to maybe what skills that they should focus on and what they should pick up along the way. So I'm curious as to what other skills you've learned while doing things like not just working with Sellbuy, but also working at agencies and eventually founding your own that helped you in this journey to becoming a successful SaaS entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's such a great question. I worked in the agency space for about 11 years before launching Syllabi, and I saw a lot of the same recurring problems over and over again. Um, to be frank, social media and video marketing has changed my life. It's given me everything that I've ever wanted. And so it's become kind of a personal mission for me to help other people change their lives with the tips, tools, and strategies uh, to grow on social media as well. And so a lot of those problems were knowing that they need to create content, but uh, not knowing what topics to create, not knowing what to say on camera so it actually resonates with their audience and holds their attention, needing help staying consistent and accountable because it's a grind to create videos and social media content every single day. Most people don't enjoy it. I'm one of those weird anomalies that enjoys creating content every single day. Uh, Not having the budget as well, like at our agency, we charged anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 per month, and there's just so many small businesses and new entrepreneurs, solopreneurs that can't afford that, and they don't have the time to create content every day themselves because they're focusing on growing their business. And it's this like chicken or the egg problem of what do you do? I can't grow my business without social media, but I don't have time to do it. And so I wanted to solve a lot of those problems with Syllaby. And so that's what our agency did. And I took all of those step-by-step processes, and I really wanted to eliminate all of those problems. And that that's what makes a good um, company. Being an entrepreneur is problem solving, and so that's what Syllabi and a good software does. Is it actually solves a problem. It's not just a nice to have. It shows you the topics to create. It writes the scripts for you. It creates videos for you however you want, whether it's faceless or AI avatars or B-roll videos, or you want to be on camera. We have our own video editor in there. My whole thing is I don't care how you create more videos. I just want to make it as easy as possible for you to create more videos. And then you can connect all of your social media accounts and schedule and publish it to everywhere. And you can even set up a month of videos in a couple of minutes. So it'll schedule, create, publish a video or up to 5 videos every single day to all of your social media. So you can really set it and forget it and focus on your business. And we only charge $25 a month instead of 15,000. So
Right.
there's
It's a little bit of a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, a big difference there.
Yeah, it sounds like prioritizing. In my opinion, I think that content creation obviously being important no matter what the kind of content is, but a lot of people do struggle with that barrier to entry in general of, just kind of getting out and just doing it. So I totally understand where you're coming from with that. And that is also where people struggle to realize that, AI can actually help you do the things that you don't actually want to do, as opposed to just taking over all of the fun stuff. So I did kind of want to dive a little bit into your career, because going from where you've started to having such a massive success with a platform like Syllabi is definitely not a small feat. And I think that our watchers and listeners would want to know a little bit more about your journey as well. So you've spoken before in a previous podcast about how your success is mostly due to constant failure and just being okay with that and accepting that as a part of the journey. And I think that it's really easy for many people in the industry to see that kind of success and have no concept of the constant just evolving and innovation and grinding that it takes to get there. So I'd love to hear if you're willing to share about a time that you've failed, whether it was like an actual failure or it turned out to be a blessing in disguise that was instrumental into you being right here where you are today.
Yeah, there are no failures. There's only lessons learned to move forward. Yeah, what immediately comes to mind, this was just an epic failure when I was very early on in my career in video production. I was an intern, paid intern at the time, and we had this amazing opportunity to interview these Oscar-nominated short film. The entire crew for this, the writer, director, the actors, the entire crew for this. And I said, I took the initiative. I want to film this. And so I went out to LA from Orange County. We drove an hour and a half up. I had one camera, one battery, and a Tascam microphone, which was just the actual device. Not actually like a boom mic or anything like that. And it was a complete failure. Everything went wrong. There was no only one camera, so I only had one camera angle, and I had to film a bunch of stuff. The battery died. I had no backup battery, so we had to wait for 45 minutes to charge it up and then do it again. The audio was terrible because it's this little Tascam device. And so I, learned to prepare.
That'll do it.
I mean, that was such an embarrassing moment because they ended up actually winning the Oscar for Best Film. We shot it before, so I had this opportunity and completely blew it. The entire day was a waste. The footage was unusable. It just was a waste of everybody's time. And so that I was so early in my career, and I was over ambitious. But it really taught me some valuable lessons of preparing ahead of time. You'd think that I would have prepared, but a little bit better. But I didn't know what I didn't know, and I just didn't think about all of these things. I just went into it gung ho, and it's great to go into things gung ho, but as long as you prepare. So
Mm.
that was a lesson a failure, but a lesson learned that really has stuck with me over the years. That was
Yeah, you
about
guys heard it first here. This is why Austin Armstrong has made it his mission to automate video creation. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I feel like we've all kind of had those moments that have induced, personally for me, that would have induced a crash out of epic proportions. However, what would have also bothered me a lot was, I know that you were on TikTok for a while, for several years, before you lost literally everything on that platform. I wouldn't have been able to cope with that in any way, shape, or form. I'm so curious. How did you rebound from that after spending so much time and energy and effort establishing your personal brand? Because that's
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. Yeah, I ultimately lost about 900,000 followers on
Oof.
TikTok. Um, Now, the full story there is I had been banned 5 times from TikTok before they permanently banned and like wiped the cache. And so I'm like the cockroach of social media. You can't get rid of me. But so I was really all in on TikTok about 5 years ago. I was pretty early, and then I was active on my other social media platforms, but I wasn't like full time growing it. And the all of a sudden, that my TikTok account got banned, and I ended up getting it back, which was great. But it was so heartbreaking that first time. Um, but it forced me to not want to put all of my eggs in one basket. So immediately after that, I just went on a mission, just a tirade of hiring and working with coaches and studying platforms and just like a bat out of hell to figure out the nuances of every other platform, because I never wanted to feel that vulnerable again, because all of my business leads were coming from TikTok. And so overnight my entire lead source just disappeared, and that's never a good situation to be in. You never should be relying on one individual platform. And so it worked. I was able to figure out all of those other platforms, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I have a pretty sizable following everywhere now, and continue to grow everywhere, which is a blessing. But it's just hard work. It's just grinding it out, testing until you figure out what works. But yeah, I ultimately uh, the good news about all of that too is like once you really get it down, you can grow it again. You can once you have these strategies down, they don't disappear. It still works, so you can just build back. And so, like right now, I have 230,000 followers on TikTok. Again, I lost 900,000, but I know I can build it back, and I have been building it back. And I have all of my
Right.
other social media platforms as well, and it's just such an important lesson to diversify.
Is that still your biggest lead magnet, or now do you have more people coming in from like your own channels and other social media pages as well?
Yeah, the last year and a half has been Facebook. So I have about 1.8 million followers on Facebook. It's where I by far get the most leads and referrals and sales across the board. Amazing networking opportunities. TikTok has really fallen down the totem pole for me, but it is a little bit because I'm bittersweet on the platform. So I kind of half-ass it, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, it makes sense. It was kind of like where you got your start. So it would make sense that you have a fondness for it. But honestly, if I had that kind of customer service experience, I'm not sure if I would still feel the same way. So you're more generous than I when it comes to being lenient on that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous because you'll see content that is um, blatantly immoral and violates policies that remain up. But yet they take down a page talking about AI tools and useful websites for business owners and entrepreneurs. Um,
They've got their
it's
priorities
pretty
straight, I guess.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So in general, I know that one of your biggest things a while ago or a couple of years ago when it was really big was TikTok. But during that time, you were also kind of founding your own agency, were you not? Or was that kind of a little bit afterwards? Yeah. So since you've owned the agency for about 5 or 6 years now, you've offered multiple services to your clients to generate leads and grow their online presence, just like you did for yourself. And I'm curious to know what kind of AI tools, of course, other than Syllaby, would you recommend to your clients that you think are underrated that most marketers should be using right now?
There's so many great ones. I mean, for SEO articles, we use Jasper AI. I've tested a lot of these content writer tools like Write Sonic and ChatGPT itself and Copy AI. Jasper is actually ranking really well for us from an like just a traditional SEO perspective. So that's what we've been using for a while. We have a product like we'll analyze a keyword that we want to rank for a competitor and the opportunity to rank there. And then we'll take some of the top currently ranking articles on Google and feed that in as a reference, as well as our own website and brand voice we have built out on there. And then we'll write the article using Jasper, and then we customize it. And then we put it on our website and our blog and landing page format. And that's been doing really well for us. And it's been increasing our traffic tremendously over the last couple of months, as well as because of the link building services of SirLinksalot as well. Like I actually love you guys. Not an AI service, but I've been using SirLinksalot for like five years or something like that. But
It was
aside
actually
from
brought
that,
to my attention that you are one of our first affiliates. I think that's super cool. So thanks for the
I
shout out.
actually believe I am the first affiliate to make a
The
sale for SirLinksalot.
first.
I believe I'm the very first affiliate, successful affiliate for SirLinksalot.
We
So
have an OG, you guys. That's so exciting.
no, I've been a big fan of you guys since the beginning. But besides that, I mean, I love using Notebook LM to listen to information. So we'll get a bunch of like we'll do deep research on ChatGPT or Claude or DeepSeek and really find market opportunities, and then I'll take all of that document. Uh, and feed it into Notebook LM and listen to it like a podcast. Because that is like when I read something, it kind of is, in and out. I don't retain as much information as I do by watching or listening to things. And so that's like I listen to audiobooks way more than I read, to be honest, because that's just kind of how my brain works and I read slow. So I turn all text-based information that comes into our business into a podcast with Notebook LM and listen to it. And you can turn it on like 1.5 speed and all of that. And you can actually come in and ask questions as well.
Wait,
Which
Austin,
is
where do you do your podcast listening? Like, are you on a jog listening to this, or is this your mid work route?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I have a chance. So just at the home office or driving in a car or walking my dog, whenever.
Nice.
And then
That's pretty
another
good.
thing too, uh, vibe coding is a huge term right now, and it basically is writing code through text prompts. And so anybody can essentially create uh, software now. And I think that's going to be the next big lead magnets for businesses as well. So pivoting from like, email opt-in to get like an ebook or a PDF or, a free discovery call or something like that. Anybody can vibe code a simple software tool that does something related to your business that acts as a lead magnet. And I think that, you can use tools like Lovable or Bolt. V0 is one, v0.dev is one that we've fully integrated at Syllaby to create all of our mockups and before we actually have the team code it. So we do user interviews with that. There's so many tools, but those are some of the ones that I'd recommend checking out and starting.
Gotcha. It sounds like you guys kind of have every step of your process covered with making sure that it's, well integrated into your workflow. So you guys don't just push AI, you guys actually use AI in what you do. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I want to
I'm
know.
always been a big proponent of practicing what I preach.
Love it. I want to know, you've obviously been practicing what you preach and just killing it with your goals for the past couple of years. Good for you. But I want to know, what is next for you? Like, what do you have your sights on to where you're thinking, like, this is next and it's what I'm excited to accomplish soon?
So there's still a lot of work to do with Syllaby. My mission with Syllaby is to create the best video marketing platform on the internet and help 1 million people be monetized on social media. That is my big goal, and there's a lot that we still need to do in order to get there. So that's the immediate focus, is continuing to talk to our users or prospective users every single day. Syllaby has always been a mission-driven business and built in public. You'll never see a more active CEO that's in the weeds than me, and that's really our company culture, is to talk to our users and build out the best tool. So that's the immediate goal. And then I really believe in content creators being the biggest moat in a company moving forward, because we're entering into an era where anybody can create their own software tools and create websites with a simple prompt. So my 5 to 10 year goal for myself is to get into venture capital and actually invest in creator-led startups. Because I've seen firsthand how you can grow a business by having a large personal brand and doing that pre-work ahead of time. And I think there's a really big opportunity to invest in content creators that have amazing ideas, because it's going to get very saturated with AI tools and software coming out, because as soon as something is successful, someone's going to be able to create a copycat that's cheaper. And what's the defensibility moat around that is having an established brand and an audience and people that trust and believe in you. And so I want to invest in those people.
Gotcha. I think that's an awesome goal, especially as someone who has also been in that space as a content creator. Going back full circle and supporting other content creators is really awesome. Well, I think that that's all that I have for you as far as picking your brain goes, but I really wanted to thank you for taking the time to chat. I'm going to actually now go and look up every single tool that you recommended and figure out how I can integrate it into my workflow and my lifestyle. So I really appreciate it. And I know that our listeners also appreciated your insights and recommendations as well. So thank you so much for listening to the SirLinksalot podcast for today, and we will catch you guys next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to give us a like, drop a comment, subscribe, so you don't miss out on any future SEO insights. And hey, if you're serious about your rankings, head over to SirLinksalot.co, check out our premium link building services, guides, and free SEO tools. See you next time.